Okay, finding information, graphing by hand. So we're using the graphs this time. So first of all, how do you graph one? What if I said, okay, you have to graph this. Y equals x squared plus 2x plus 1. How would you graph that? You have the magic bullet. It works every time. You might be thinking, but I don't know the vertex. I can't factor it. I can't figure out how I can do this. All you have to remember is the XY chart. Would everybody please find me 3 points that are on this graph? Brian, give me a point.
0.
You stick in 0, you get 1, so 0, 1. That, my friend, is either an x-intercept or it's a y-intercept. Remember, the whole x-intercept is where y is 0 and y-intercept is where x is 0. So which one did you find right there? Because its x was 0. So you put in 0 and you got 1, 0, 1. Pausing. Okay, so I put in 0, I get 1. Kiernan, what did you put in?
I put in -1.
1, -2. Do you remember me saying that these would always have this double but opposite thing going on? Okay, so that makes -1, and then you plus 1, and then you get 0. Ooh, that's the what? The x-intercept, because y is 0. This one was the y-intercept because the x was 0. Okay. One more thing. I bet you somebody, if I'd have given you enough time, would have factored this to x plus 1 and x plus 1. How do I know that works? Because if you multiply it out, you get this back. And then that tells me the what's? X-intercept. Which is -1. And look at that. See, we already knew it, but I could have got it from factoring. Okay, next. Which of you can remember what the formula is for finding that X line that's the first part of the vertex? It's called the Axis of Symmetry. Do you remember the formula for it? So many little things you have to know. Everybody write down what you think the formula is, and I will call on a random person until I find somebody who's got it. I don't want to just call on volunteers, because sometimes people are like, oh, he'll just call on somebody who's asking, so I don't need to do this. What's that formula again for the vertex? X equals something over something. Row 3. Person 1. Parker, that's you. I'm going to get you started. Does this ring the bell? There it is. -b over 2a. Olivia, what's b?
2.
Good. What's a, by the way?
1.
All right. There's a 1 there. So then, what's -b over 2a?
It's -1 over...
No, wait. -b.
Oh, wait. So it's positive 1.
So you keep thinking the b is 1, but it's not. You told me before that b was 2.
Oh, the b is 2.
Okay. So, -b over 2a. So,
-2
yep.
over 2.
Yep. And that is 2. So, -2 over 2, -1. Wait a minute. That spot right there, we already have it. That means the x-intercept is the vertex. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, otherwise, I could just stick -1 back in the function, but didn't I already do that to get this? Yeah, I don't want to put the -1 back in there again. Okay. So I know it's -1, 0, because I already did it. If I hadn't, I would have put -1 in here and here. Okay. One more time for the graphing by hand. they give you a graph, and it's like this. And this spot is 8, 5. You should be able to tell a whole bunch of stuff from that. Oh, wait. Let's actually tell you 2 more things. I'm going to say that this is 3, and this is 13. You should be able to tell me the axis of symmetry. You should be able to tell me the vertex. You should be able to tell me the x-intercepts. Then you should be able to give me 3 forms. Factored form, vertex form, and standard form. Just for perspective, it's kind of like this, except I'm going to do it wrong on purpose. And then the answers look kind of like that. And then the vertex form, again, wrong on purpose. Remember how those look? Then you multiply 1 out. All right, try to find those many things. The axis of symmetry, the vertex, the x-intercepts. And then find the 3 forms of the equation. This is an example. These are not right. They're just kind of like an example of what they kind of look like. So imagine you're taking the test. 2 days from now, you will be. Okay, Dice of Destiny. Row 4, person 1. Noah, Axis of Symmetry, you got the easy one. Yep. Remember how you have to say x equals 8. It's the axis of symmetry. Okay, good. And the vertex. Row 5, that makes you.
8, 5.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. How about the x-intercept? Row 1, person 2. How'd you get this comma 0 thing? How did you know you were right that that's the x-intercepts?
Because that's where like
True. And the y is what?
0.
So x-intercepts have y of 0. Okay, good. Now, factored form. Row 3, person 4, in the back. Start with an x minus, and then an x minus, and then sometimes you have to change it to plus. But and these have to do with the x-intercepts.
Is it x minus 3?
Yep.
And x minus 3?
That's it. There's the equation in factored form. Now, one fair warning, if you're in a higher level class than us, we aren't studying what the stretch factor would be. So we'd have to have like a stretch factor there, but we don't know what it is. So we're just kind of ignoring the stretch factor. So how about this? Is this supposed to be upside down though? Did anybody catch that we need a negative? Raise your hand if you remembered the negative. Ooh, that would have caught a lot of people off guard. Remember, it's upside down. It's going down. That makes this a minimum or a maximum up here? Maximum. And I need a negative right here in the front of that equation. Okay, vertex form. That's a big machine. Row 1, person 2. Ah, the dice like you.
X minus 8 in parentheses, and then
Seems like you're just using this 8,5 here. And you're right, but one little thing could spoil it all. Is it that she made this negative? No, you're supposed to do the opposite of what you're thinking there. What'd you forget?
The minus.
Yes, needs a minus in the front. Okay. 4, row 4, person 5. Ryan, that's you this time. How would you get standard form?
Multiply out the vertex form.
Yes. And I know some people will have multiplied this one out. Other people will have multiplied this one out. Either way, it works. You just have to multiply it out to get general form or standard form. They're the same thing. Okay? Go ahead. What's your final answer on that one?
Negative x squared plus 32x minus 59.
And then the last number is what?
Minus 59.
Minus 59. I'm double checking you. I think that's right. Can anybody verify you got the same thing? Uh-oh. Now, it could be you're the only one right, which is possible. All right. Kai, could you shut that door, please? Thank you. So, let me talk through what would I do if I was like going to be sure. Which form did you use, Ryan? Did you use this form, the factored form, or did you use the vertex form? All right, then I'm going to use factored form and just multiply it out with that, because I should get the same answer. So I'm going to multiply this out. That times that, x squared. Outside and the inside, negative 13 and negative 3 makes negative 16x. Is that what you said? But wait. There is a negative in the front, though. I'm not doing the negative till later. So maybe, did you have a positive 16x? All right. So, and then I'm going to multiply the last, which is this times this. 39. And it would have been, to start with, it's positive 39. And then I distribute this and this and this. Final answer, negative x squared plus 16x minus 39. Yay. All right, now let's go plow through the notes. That'll go quick because I've taught you everything. Most basic quadratic. Do you know the axis of symmetry for it? Doesn't it kind of look like that? So the axis of symmetry would run right down the middle. X equals 0. What if you wanted to follow that little rule, that little formula? Noah, do you remember the formula for the vertex?
Y equals x plus.
This is the one that has something over something. This is the formula, actually. X equals negative b over, it's not coming back? Negative b over 2a. You may want to write that one down. That's for the axis of symmetry. Right there. I know you probably could be like, oh, I can see it on the graph. True, but you need to know this one because we're going to give you much more complicated ones that you won't be graphing. You just got to know how to do negative b over 2a. Okay, so then what is the answer for that then? If y equals x squared, what's b? It's 0 over 2 times 1, which is 0. See, I could get that from negative b over 2a. All right, is it opening up or down, Kai? Oh, opening up. And it's happy. There's no negative. Know what they mean by that? Like if you put a negative here, it would be upside down, and then it wouldn't be. It would be down facing, and then it'd be sad. Okay, x-intercept. It's where y equals 0. Oh, I see it right there. 0, 0. And the x-intercept, the same. 0, 0 is the only spot like that. It's both the x-intercept and it's the y-intercept, all rolled into one. Okay, go to this slide. You should be able to look at that and go, I know the vertex. That's easy. Is it opening up or down? Is it happy? Or is it a negative one that's sad and opens down? Okay, I'll pause for a second while you finish this off. All right, from this, your vertex should have been easy. Should have been -4, -5. Okay, and then you go over here to graph it, and you go to -4, 5 is right down there, okay? And then I need a few points on my XY chart. And I need to know, is this thing happy or not? Well, there's no negative in the front, so it's happy. It's going up. I know generally it goes like that, but I'm not sure exactly where it goes, except that it opens up. All right, so what do? I personally would just make a bunch of points. Put in 0. 16 minus 5, 11. Put in 1. Well, this is getting really big. I think I've realized I want to go the other direction. I'm going to put in -1, because otherwise I'll all be off my graph. So I'm just going to be smart about which points I pick. That's going to make 3 squared is 9. 9 minus 5 is 4. Who had -1 comma 4? Good. Okay. You just do a couple more points. -2. 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 5, -1. And maybe -3. That's 1 squared, which is 1 minus 5, -4. Okay, so then I graph it. 0, comma 11 would be right up there. -1, comma 4, right there. -2, -1. Oh, I went up instead of down. There. Ooh, that's working out so nice. -3, -4. I already. No, I didn't have that one yet. -1, 2. There. And so I've only got part of my parabola, but I can even see where it'll go next. It'll go here. It'll go here. See what I'm doing here? I'm just using the fact that it's got symmetry. And it's going to go there. And it's going to go there. Cool. There's my graph. Now, it says x-intercepts, not yet, because they came out to weird decimals. We would not ask you for these x-intercepts. Do you get if this was the axis was like right there, then we could have asked you for those points, and they would have been nice numbers if we moved the axis down 1. But that'd be more like what we might do in the test. Okay. The y-intercept, easy. It's where x equals 0. So you put in a 0 here. And you get 4 squared is 16, 16 minus, that was the 11 one. So 0, comma 11. Does it have a minimum or maximum? Now that I'm seeing the graph, it's easy. It has a minimum. Okay. I think we've done enough of these except for the increasing, decreasing. So I'm going to sketch this one real quick, and all I want you to do is the increasing, decreasing on this. It's got a vertex at 2, comma -1. Over 2, down 1. And I know it's a down-facing parabola, so it's like that. And this key line runs right down the middle, x equals 2. Pay attention. Find me the domain and range. Domain is like this. Range is like this. And then do increasing and decreasing. Remember, it's all about x values. So you'll have this point here, and you'll be having to decide, should I use the x of it or the y of it? The increasing, decreasing is all about x values. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second while you give those two a shot. You're supposed to know how to do increasing and decreasing as you read from left to right. Okay, one of my smart students noticed there's no negative on this one. So this should be going up. That totally changes it. So, everybody try it now. It's like that. And its vertex is right there. 2, comma -1 was the key point. I think that x values alone, people will know this goes to infinity. But I think the fact that people are going to forget to use the x values, I bet you that alone is going to take 2 of you and move your grade from would have been an A down to a B. Because this is so important and hard for kids, so pay attention. I'm going to pick a few random kids until one of them gets it right. Row 5. Person 5. Ryan, that's you again. What do you think the increasing, decreasing is? You always can put parentheses.
Increasing to infinity.
From what to infinity?
2.
From 2 to infinity. Raise your hand if you agree with him. You are correct. See, this is the x value, and from here over, this graph keeps going up. Row 5, Kai, decreasing from... Nice. The 2 random kids that got called were good. Were you? Raise your hand if you had the same exact things. Sweet. Okay, how about domain and range then? Truckee, do you know the domain goes left, right?
Yeah.
What's the domain?
Negative infinity to positive infinity.
You're correct, sir. Cleaning up a few people I haven't called on yet today because the dice were nice. Lydia, the range. How come you use -1 and not the 2? I thought I said to always use the x values. You are correct. Range is about y's. So it's from -1 to infinity. Okay. What's the x-intercepts? We'd have to really look close, and I don't feel like I graphed it well enough to know for sure, but I feel like it might be 3 and 0. Maybe 3 and 1.
3 and 1.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. And the x-intercepts, oh, it says not yet. Hey, we can do those. It's not that bad. And the y-intercept? The y-intercept is where x equals 0. I can just put in a 0 here. The y-intercept is where x equals 0. If you can simplify that, you've got it. -2 squared, 4. 4 minus 1, 3. The y-intercept was at 3. If you put y equals 3, I think I'd cry. You'd be like, dang it, he was so close. 0, 3. Because the y-intercept is where x is 0. We're getting there. Is this the same exact problem again? No, but it's pretty close. This time it's got a negative out front. I think you can do this super quick. It's going to skip x-intercepts. You should be able to answer everything else on this one super quick. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to turn your iPad my way to prove to me you are on this page. In a moment. Okay, turn them. Make sure that you're still with me. Right page, good. All right. All right. Now go ahead and finish that page. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to compare with the kid next to you. Just see if you think the standard form is the same as they think it is. You just have to multiply it out. All right, let me pause for a sec. Give that a try. Can anybody verify that? Because you got the same thing. All right. Now, let's talk that one through quick because a lot of kids didn't. Negative x plus 1, x plus 1 plus 7. This gets done first, and then you stick the negative on everything in there. And the last thing you do is the plus 7. Okay? All right. Now, find the vertex. Well, that's pretty easy. Row 3, person 2. That's you, Vivian. Yeah, what's the vertex of this thing? -1, 7. Excellent. Now, what's the axis of symmetry, Vivian? It's just like right from the vertex. Look at how that's from right here, everybody. So easy to get the axis of symmetry. Opens up or down. I like this whole negative thing. It's kind of a negative person, so it's down. It opens down. The only thing that might mess you up on is, does it have a minimum or a maximum? If you actually graph it, though, you'll be like this, and you'll be like, oh, that's easy. It has a maximum. All right, and last but not least, the Y-intercept chi. How How do you find y-intercepts again?
You put 0 as x for the
Yep.
equation,
X equals 0.
and you get 0 comma 6.
0 goes right there. You get y equals negative 0 or plus 1 squared plus 7. That's negative 6 plus 1 or 7 makes 1. He is correct. Y equals 1. But I shouldn't write it that way. I shouldn't say y equals 1. It looks like an axis of symmetry or something. Wait a minute. Something's wrong. Kai, when you did this part, what do you get for that part?
Added 1 squared, which was 1, and then negative 1 plus 7,
Which is?
positive 6.
Positive 6. Okay, and then the final answer shouldn't be written as y equals 6. It should be a point.
0 comma 6.
0 comma 6. There we go. Sorry, my brain's not working fully right today, but there we go. Okay, any questions about that one? All right. Well, tomorrow's the official review day. The only thing I'm really worried about is increasing and decreasing. So we're just going to do one more like that, and I'm going to give you this graph. And its vertex is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comma 3. And I just want you to tell me, where is it increasing? Just the increasing first. Where is this thing increasing? Caroline. You know this kind or not? Do you know this kind? No? Okay. So do you agree that on one side of this red dotted line, it's generally, as you read from left to right, it's going up. And then on one side of the line, it's going down. Which side of the line is going up on? Remember, you're reading from left to right, like this. Which side is it going up on? So you're saying it's going up right there. That's going up?
That's going down.
Okay. So I'm going to divide it in two parts. There's that part, and then there's this part. Is the red part going up, or is the green part going up? Okay, so the red part's going up. So it's increasing from, and it's always going to be a comma in between two parentheses. What's way over here? Way, way, way over here. Like way to the left. Caroline, what's way to the left? All right, you better learn this. Negative infinity is way to the left. And it doesn't increase forever. It stops right here. But I've tried to coach you whether to use the x or the y. So what do you think the final answer is that I should put here and here for what about increasing?
Negative infinity at 5.
Yes, there it is. That's where it was increasing from negative infinity to 5. All right, you have a assignment, of course, and I would ask you to start on it immediately, and I will come and check on you in a bit. Remember, our test is in 2 days. So if you're struggling right now, well, 2 days from now, you're probably still going to be struggling, so you should ask me. So find today's folder, which is the 7th. Inside there, you find a worksheet. Why? Because this is graphing, and it's really hard to do on a Schoology quiz. Okay? Now, I find that worksheets in this class are sometimes a little long. And so I'm going to give you permission to skip the last one, number 5. So you just have to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. That makes it a little more reasonable. You want to do well on this test, you're definitely going to want to do those for practice. All right, so the worksheet is again called Finding Information Graphically, HA Unit 4, Lesson 5. Or Unit 7, Lesson 5, sorry about that. It says, on one place it says unit 7. A different year, we call it unit 4, so. The first problem starts with y equals x, or f of x equals x squared, and asks you to find the vertex and the axis of symmetry. That way you'll know you're on the right one. Okay, that's all I got for you for today.